What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special 100 episode of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again, talking one comic book character. Wait, Sean.
Huh?
No, we're not. Sean, you're in the same room as me.
Oh my god, I am.
I just wanted to say it out loud. Me and Sean are finally... We've reconnected.
As friends. We drifted apart for a little while there.
I hate you.
I hated myself.
Damn it. You always do that. I can never get a feud going.
No, I'm too eager to accept criticism.
But yeah, we are finally in the same room recording a Hero or Zero. Now, it is meant to be my week.
Yes.
And originally, I was going to do one of the big heroes for Hero or Zero.
Oh, like week. The Orb.
The Orb, for example. Or maybe a lesser hero, like the other Orb.
Ruby Thursday.
Ruby Thursday, yes. And normally I do DC characters, Sean does Marvel.
Yes.
And so this week, because it is the 100th episode, it's an extravaganza.
Is it now?
It's a celebration.
No one told me.
Every single week, we have brought you a comic book character that is either dumb, smart, somewhere in between. And so you've done 50 and I've done 50.
Yes.
And right now, I decided this week, Waffles, one of our loyal listeners,
patron saint of the podcast,
podcast Waffles, he messaged in. He messaged us on Twitter, and he let us know that a good idea would actually be that, because we threw it out to you, what would you like to see for the Hero Zero? And he said, why don't you come up with your own hero and villain?
Yes.
So one of us takes a hero and one of us takes a villain, and that is what we are going to be doing for Hero or Zero this week.
I read that suggestion and I was just like, that's class.
And originally I was like, oh, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
And then I started coming up, because I chose villain, because I just think a villain is funnier than a hero.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I chose villain, and I'll be going first, so I'll come up with a villain, and you will have to come up with a hero to counter my villain.
Yes, now I already have an idea of a hero in mind, but I don't know if it'll be of any use.
And I have my villain already written out. I've written him out like a proper report.
Yeah, like you would usually do.
Like I would normally do, yes. It's the only way I can read it. And so I think that's a good idea, and we will be doing that. Just see if our characters can hold up. It was harder than I thought, in the fact that everything's already been done.
Yeah, we give a lot of shit to comic writers on this show, but to come up with a completely original idea, it's tough.
We've never done it once.
Never.
We literally just talk about other shit all day.
Exactly, and get up on our high horse about it.
Yeah, that's bad. I've never created a movie.
I've never done anything.
No, Bob Kane, fair play to you.
You did all the work, Bob Kane.
Big finger did nothing. And so, this is Hero Zero, and this week we are going to be starting off with my villain, Sean. Now, my villain, he's a bit of a badass.
Okay.
I worked hard on him. So, the stats I have here is that he was created in 2020 by Conor Lawler. He was created in 2020 by Conor Lawler at 1 a.m. precisely last night.
Or this morning.
Or this morning, technically, yes. Before this recording session, I did last night at 1 a.m. go, that's not a bad idea. Now, I will say, I am slightly tired when writing this.
So it's written backwards and in a different language.
My villain is Chestnut Fiddlesticks. That's his name.
Okay.
Chestnut Fiddlesticks.
It sounds like a 1920s curse.
Chestnut Fiddlesticks is literally the only part of, like, that has no other impact on the rest of his life. That's just his name.
Okay, and he's a villain named Chestnut Fiddlesticks.
Chestnut Fiddlesticks. But that's not his villain name.
Oh, okay.
I'll come to his villain name soon enough.
After his origin, of course.
So, young Chestnut was a lovely young man, Sean.
Was he now?
Yeah. He ran. He skipped. He mostly dropped some rips in the chat of his favourite Twitch streamers on the daily.
On the daily?
On the daily.
Good God, he's dedicated.
But one day, him and his parents went to see Jaws in the cinema.
Okay.
Chestnut thought the whole thing was ridiculous, but his older brother Chad really resonated with the characters.
Sorry, is this Chad Fiddlesticks?
That's Chad Fiddlesticks, yes. It was 1 a.m. Chad really resonated with the characters, especially the shark.
Of course.
Right? On the way out of the theatre, they were met by a man named John Cold.
It's fuck's
right?
sake. Right.
John proceeded to wish them a happy evening, and then they all went home.
Oh God, I thought that was going to go a different way.
Yes.
Really subverted my expectations there,
twist going on so far. Later on that night, Chestnut's parents and Chad were killed in a boating accident and also kidnapped for some reason.
But Wait, they were kidnapped and killed in a boating accident. Wow.
Yeah.
Which happened first?
They were killed first.
They were killed first and then
In
kidnapped.
a boating accident.
Right, so their bodies were stolen, technically.
Yes.
Okay.
So you never found them.
Never found them.
That would lead to a life of just grief and
with-
anger.
With counselling and things like
Yeah,
that.
you'd probably overcome it. Chestnut was devastated by this incident, which you would be.
You would be.
He was left homeless with no money and no family.
Why did he lose a home?
Because his father was paying the mortgage, like.
Yeah, but surely there's an accommodation thing.
No, he didn't have any home. He grew up on the hard streets of Metrotum.
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 So that's somewhere between Metropolis and Gotham.
Right in the middle there, yeah.
It's on the border.
He's on the border to do them. And had to fight for all he had, learning that people on the street were dicks. They were all walking past him, giving him nothing. They were spitting on him, kicking him.
Go away.
He was all young.
Poor old Chestnut.
Oh, look. 1 o'clock. He was then adopted by some owls who taught him who to trust.
Oh, very
and
good.
who to act.
Oh, even better.
That one was just for me.
So I enjoyed writing that.
They watched him grow up, and his obsession with fighting the ocean grew.
Okay.
Right? Because obviously his parents dead in a boating accident.
Of course, you've thrown me a number of curveballs as to where he's going to end up.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I'm kind of trying to keep it open-ended here.
Yeah.
He hated boats for what they did to his fam.
It was the boat's fault.
And so he vowed to get strong enough to fight a boat.
Oh. This is his goal, is to fight a boat.
Yeah. So far, yes.
The boat that killed his parents, because that boat's already dead.
That one's gone. Maybe the boat's family.
Well, that's boat profiling. Boat filing, if you will.
Boat filing. But I'm just saying, he went to a different way with it.
Look, he's not thinking straight.
He's not thinking. He's grief. He's grief riddled.
He's riddled with grief.
He's riddled with grief. One day he was playing in the chemical waste factory with he had a big circle and a stick that he was rolling along with it.
What year? Because he was on Twitch earlier.
Yeah, no, it's 2019.
Okay.
One day he's homeless, Sean. He can get whatever he gets.
Where the fuck does he get a stick and a hoop from?
Sticks lying around the place.
Yeah, with a hoop.
That's actually very fair play. One day he was playing in the chemical waste factory, as he tended to do.
Yes, of course.
And he accidentally tripped over and fell into the vat of chemicals that were there.
What are the odds?
It was awful. And he was saved by somebody. They pulled him out. The maintenance manager of the factory.
He put on his protective equipment, reached in,
got in,
pulled out his skeleton.
pulled it out, and taken to hospital.
Okay.
He seemed normal at first, but then
Right.
they realised that guy was covered in chemicals and shit, so they cleaned him up and he healed well and he was fine.
Again,
Plot
the
twist.
The curveballs keep coming.
Then he went home and decided to try science.
Sorry, you say home?
Yeah.
Where?
Streets.
He went outside the hospital.
Lovely home. He went home and decided to try some science because he was always fascinated by science.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ever since he was a young boy, which I think he still is.
Look, it's up in the air currently. He bought all of his Bunsen burners and began trying.
How many do you need
6
to fight a boat?
He bought all of his Bunsen burners and began trying to create the perfect formula to make him strong enough to fight the big blue wet thing.
I say so it's the ocean he's fighting.
Bit of both, bit of this, bit of that.
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Yes. Sorry, the big blue wet thing and the boats.
And the boats.
I have written here.
Okay, they're a team.
Even Connor at half one in the morning, he's smart enough to put the
He's
and
like,
boats
Sean
there.
is going to pull me up on this.
Yeah. Eventually, after months of trying, he stumbled upon a substance he thought would make him stronger. Would do it.
Oh,
right?
But does he have anyone to test it on, Connor?
There was nobody to test it on.
Heavens, no.
Nobody around other than all of his owl family.
He wouldn't.
It slowly dawned on him that he'd have to do the experiment on himself.
Dun, dun, dun. No one expected this.
Luckily, he was obviously terrible at science, and so he just injected himself with some water and then went for a snooze.
Oh, I think that would still be bad for you.
Look, extra water in the body, get you hydrated.
I suppose, yeah. And then he went for a little snooze.
Yeah.
Wait, how does he become a villain?
It was then that he had finally had enough, Shaun.
I think he'd had enough previous to this. This whole report, I'm looking for clues on how to make my hero better.
It's very quickly unravels. I put a lot of time into the first 2 paragraphs.
And then it was 4 o'clock in the morning.
And I was like, fuck it. He'll get what he gets. He decided to take the fight to the sea.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he marched out to the beach and he chose a ship that was sailing off into the distance.
Okay.
And said, I'm having a bit of that. Right?
Right.
And began to walk out to meet it for the battle of his life.
Walk out? He can walk on water?
No. Did I say he could walk on water? He began to walk out to meet it.
Okay.
He had just fully submerged himself in the water.
Right, I see, sorry.
When he felt something bite him on the hand.
No.
He was shocked at first, but when he looked down, he realised it was a radioactive shark.
But that ties into the sharks and the radioactivity from earlier.
Oh, it's all coming together.
You were so happy about this.
And he had suddenly grown a shark on his arm.
Oh, Shark Arm.
Shark Arm.
Is his name Shark Arm?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The shark was his new arm.
I want you to say that sentence again.
The shark was his new arm, Shaun.
Lovely, perfect.
Yeah. He went home sick and confused, which I think you would be.
You would.
The next day he went shopping for some new clothes to cover his arm and his hand. But no shops would serve him, as he was a freak with a big shark on his arm.
I mean, look at him. Come on now.
Once again showing him that people were dickheads. And he hated them.
The descent into madness continues.
Everyone pointed and laughed at him until he left each store one by one.
It's bullying. But
on the walk home, he was attacked by 3 boat-loving ninjas.
Pardon?
Sorry. On the walk home,
I'm with
he was
you.
attacked by 3
that's a number.
boat-loving ninjas.
Oddly specific hobby for ninjas. Odd that the ninjas are hanging around, what is it, Metrotum? Metrotum.
You don't know if there's no ninjas in Metrotum.
I think there's no Metrotum.
They flipped and they flopped around him. But just as they went to take their final strike, the shark unattached itself from his arm and he threw the shark at one of them.
As a projectile.
The shark attacked and ate the attacker, with the other ninjas running away in fear.
Okay.
It was then that he realised his fate. To be a villain.
But
Shark Arm Boy was born.
Shark Arm Boy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still a boy at this point.
Yeah.
But
it was on this day that he vowed to use his newfound power for evil deeds against mostly boats and also glove stores, as they wouldn't serve him when he needed them the most.
Surely he could just buy one glove.
No. Oh. His powers include the fact that he can throw his shark arm at you.
Okay.
I have a powers and abilities section here if you'd like to hear it.
Yes, please.
First of all, computer hacking. He can zoom and enhance, and also says I'm in a lot into an earpiece.
That's professional.
He's not talking to anybody in the same earpiece. Number 2.
Yes.
Martial arts.
Okay.
Chestnut is a hand-to-hand combat fighter and master of several martial arts after studying under the tutelage of his owl senseis.
So the owls are also very good at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little bit as well.
I see.
Boxing, taekwondo, kung fu, he can do it all.
How can he box with a shark for an arm?
It's a very hard punch. You ever get punched by a shark?
No.
Exactly. Nobody who's ever been done in his life to tell the tale. Throwing. Chestnut is skilled in throwing his arm to hit tugs at a short enough distance with his eyes closed. Despite occasionally giving them head starts. He's like, go on. Run away, make my day, punk.
Take 10 seconds.
Yeah. No, it's a short enough distance, so it's maybe 2 seconds.
Okay, take a second.
Take a second or 2. His abilities. He has a detachable shark arm.
Of course, you've mentioned it.
He is able to throw the shark on his arm at heroes. And due to the fact it doesn't return, it means he must run after it and reattach it if he wants to throw it again.
It's not like Captain America's shield.
It doesn't come back.
He just fucks the shark out. If he misses...
Yeah, he has to run after it and pick it back up and then throw it again.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He has the ability to breathe underwater due to the radioactive shark. As he can't swim, this is fairly pointless.
Can the shark swim?
No.
Oh.
And he sees it as a burden, as his greatest enemies are at the surface anyway. Of the sea.
Of the sea, yes.
Yeah, the boats are all bobbing. He doesn't want to be down underneath.
No, that's not boat territory, that's submarine territory.
Finally, his last ability, and I'm sure your hero will have trouble defeating him for this. He has the power of flight. He has the ability to fly after growing up and being raised by owls. He barely ever uses this power due to the fact that he just loves a good walk.
He's mad for hitting the pavement.
He loves it. But he's like a bit like, what was the man's name? The Black Condor.
Oh, okay. He was raised by condors.
He was raised by owls. And so he just learned how to fly.
If we were all raised by owls, we could all fly.
And so he has an attachable shark arm, the ability to breathe underwater, and flight on his hands.
Okay,
and he hates people.
He hates people.
Sean,
right.
Go on.
I was going to say he doesn't like the breathing underwater, and he doesn't use the flight all that much.
Not much.
And the shark arm, once he throws it, has to be picked up again.
That's my hero, yes.
Okay.
My villain, sorry.
Perfect.
Shark arm boy.
Okay, I've not...
He's the villain. He's the big villain.
He's the big bad. He's the
Metrotum.
Thanos of Metrotum.
He's raided over all sea and land.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a new character in Metrotum. All right.
Okay.
Now I've not gone as frankly insane as you have.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but I came up with a character named Globetrotter. Okay, so this character.
So, our Shark Arm Boy, he's reigning supreme. So,
he's undefeated so far. Globetrotter's coming in. So, when I was given the brief, Shaun, make a new hero, I thought, well, there's one criteria he has to have, and that is some form of sphere for a head.
I can kind of see where this is going. Does he have a basketball on his head?
No.
Oh, no!
It's a fishbowl. It's one of those old classic round fish bowls.
Right.
Open at the top.
Yeah.
So you have to...
He's dribbling.
Excellent posture.
Yeah.
So what it is Globetrotter himself is... like if you were to look at Globetrotter, it looks like a man in a trench coat with a fish bowl for a head with little goldfish swimming around.
I wouldn't be that intimidated.
Not at all.
No.
The fish is in control.
Fuck.
Globetrotter is the fish. The rest of it is like a robot that he's constructed, or had constructed for him, that he can control with his mind.
Is this not the guy from Umbrella Academy?
No. No, this is a man in a trench. This is a goldfish in a trench coat.
Go on.
So basically, his power. What's the one thing you know about goldfish?
They have bad memories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. What Globetrotter can do, he can go into someone's memories and change them.
What?
He swims into their memories.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
But can he dodge a shark?
That's the thing. That's the thing. A shark would go through a goldfish. We've somehow created the perfect matchup.
And he can breathe underwater. That goldfish has no advantage anywhere.
That's the thing. And unless it's even the land. The land, he might have some bit of advantage. If they take it to the sky, he's gone. But you say he doesn't like flight.
Doesn't like it. Doesn't like how it feels.
Shark Boy, he wants to stay on the ground or fight boats if possible.
Mostly boats.
Yeah,
they took his family.
I don't know how well we're going to...
Batman fights crime because his family got killed by a mugger. This guy fights crime because a boat took his family.
I think the kidnapping also probably wouldn't help, but he seems to be fine.
And they kidnapped the dead bodies though.
But what if the like parameters for Globetrotter entering someone's memories is that he has to dive into their mouth?
Oh no, that's hideous.
It's awful. It's really awful. Now he comes back fine, you know.
Yeah, but what about their mouths? Like, is their throat all red raw? Like, it's kind of...
Oh yeah, it's like swallowing a live fish, you know. It's not pleasant. You got scales all in there.
Yeah. So just the fish?
Just the fish. He leaped. That's why it's open top, the fish bowl.
Right.
So he leaps out, you know, Cat in the Hat style.
Cat in the Hat style.
And jumps. That's I saw some screenshots from Cat in the Hat while I was writing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he jumps into their mouth, and then he, while he's in there, he has full control of the brain through resonance. So he vibrates his fins, right? And then that vibrates the skull, and he can vibrate specific skull plates to activate certain parts of the brain.
Right.
Okay. And so, and he can also affect the memories while he's in there.
But I think I've shown quite here my villain, not to show them they're matching up here.
Yeah.
My villain's dumb as fuck. He doesn't have much of a brain.
Ah, that's the thing, though.
Very hard to vibrate what's not there.
Does the shark have a brain?
No.
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 Oh, shit. Well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look. Even if he doesn't have much of a brain, Shark Arm Boy,
Shark Arm Boy.
we can still affect his memories and just go back and change the memory of the day that his parents exploded in a boat and then the bodies were kidnapped.
That's true, yeah. It was a sad day for us all.
Bodies were rescued from the ocean and
I wouldn't say
kidnapped.
rescued, kidnapped.
Salvaged.
Salvaged.
So we just changed that he's totally fine with it. His parents and brother were awful.
Yeah.
And then he never saw Jaws.
Never saw Jaws.
Takes the shark out of the equation.
But what about, and all those people weren't mean to him?
No, but I mean, he's being a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe we could incorporate some new bullies.
Oh, would you want to turn would he turn him good?
I mean, that's a good power to have, you know, being able
On
to
the
throw
side
a
of
shark
good.
arm on the side of good.
Yeah.
If he was paired up with Globetrotter,
Yeah.
shark arm and Globetrotter could travel the globe, as it were.
I think it would be a situation where Globetrotter would be continuously fooled by Shark Arm Boy, in that he'd be like, yeah, I'm on your side, and then they would go into battle together, and then Shark Arm Boy would fuck a shark straight through the fishbowl repeatedly until like the fourth time, you'd be like, right, seriously,
We've had words about this.
you've told me you're on my side, there's an Armageddon coming, we're working together, fuck you.
Because he sees the bit of water in the fishbowl and it reminds him.
And he has a little toy boat beside the goldfish.
He's just there giving him the stink eye the whole time.
Why is that floating?
I don't know. The main problem with him is that he needs to be inside someone's mouth to be of any use.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also a detective on the side.
On the side?
Yeah, just when he's not being a superhero, he's a regular detective because he can go into someone's memories and see what they remember.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. In many ways, he's more useful as a detective.
I would say most ways. All of the ways.
All of the possible ways it could be useful.
Because he could just be a detective and do the same thing.
That's true, but, you know, one day, Shark Arm Boy knocks on the door, says, I want help finding a boat to fight. And then Globetrotter's like, okay, and then he opens the door, and then Shark Arm Boy sees that it's a fishbowl full of water, and that's how they become enemies.
Yeah.
That's their origin, you know.
It could be a situation where the goldfish was in the ocean when Shark Arm Boy was going to fight the boat.
Oh my
And
god.
he's seen the shark bite him, radioactive shark.
Yeah.
And
Why was the shark radioactive, by the way?
he was swimming around the same chemicals.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is the chemical plant close to the beach?
No, because
It is.
he bit into Shark Arm Boy, and Shark Arm Boy was still covered in chemicals from that fall he took earlier on.
I thought the hospital staff had washed him off.
They washed him off, but there was a tiny bit left.
Ah, right. Just
in his hand.
Just on the forearm
Just
area.
on the forearm area. And the shark bit into that exact area at that exact moment.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Ah, he had one of those like 90s sweatbands and it had just soaked it up.
And it just soaked it up, and it was green.
Yeah.
It was white when he started, green there and after the fall.
It would be.
And so he gets bitten by the shark. His arm just gets turned into a shark.
And what makes it detachable?
Just hopes and dreams, it's radioactive. So what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man?
Not taking his arms off, I would say.
Yeah, but your arm fall off by is a thing.
Yeah.
So I've combined the Black Condor, arm fall off by, shark foot, all into a killer animal.
Sorry, for anyone that doesn't know, two of those are legitimate superheroes. One is one that we made up in a weird news story, and I'm going to leave it up to you which of the two are real.
Two of these are real and one is fake.
The Black Condor, the man who can fly, that's the real one.
Yeah, that's the one who learned how to fly from just watching condors.
Yeah, and he had a space gun.
You're lucky I didn't do Owlman.
As soon as you mentioned owls, I was like, he's done this now.
Yeah.
He's done Owlman, the natural predator of the goldfish.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic battle of the ages.
So, is this a case that it's like a Spider-Man Venom situation where they'll work together sometimes?
No, I think my guy is so off the hinges that he can't work with anyone.
So, does he have a kryptonite?
No, you're the hero. Do you have a kryptonite? Son.
Not great for fish.
Yeah.
It turns out. Also, I should clarify, Globetrotter does have a good memory. He's not like a regular goldfish. He's also radioactive. How about that?
That's just added in.
Oh, what if the goldfish can communicate with the shark arm because they're both radioactive?
Oh, shit.
And so they're good friends.
Yeah.
But he's not friends.
He's not friends with the main guy.
With the dude.
Yeah. He's like, throw me your arm so we can hang out for a few hours, then I'll leave him back to you.
Yeah, they have like a play date situation.
Oh man, so the shark and him are friends. They always are like, he's like, I'm going to take over this city. I'm going to take over the world. And the fish and the shark just like roll their eyes like, here he is again.
This again.
Here he is again.
The old ball and chain.
Fucking hell, world domination, this, both that. Fuck off. Jesus Christ.
I think what we've done there, we've created somehow our minds aligned in the way that this would work. That they're pretty good, like a matchup for each other.
Yeah.
But it's like Batman and the Joker, you know. They'll never defeat each other.
They'll never. It's an immovable object by the unstoppable force.
Which one is which there? Because not that it matters, but it matters.
I think the unstoppable force is Shark fall off.
I think you're
Shark
right.
Boy.
I think he's going to keep fighting until the day the shark turns on him.
I just enjoy the mental image of, first of all, you're a boat loving ninja and you attack this chap.
Yeah, we never got in you know.
They're just around.
Okay.
They're just around.
Just litter in the streets.
Ninja ex machina. They're just turned up, right?
Okay.
And they just love boats, you know what I mean? But he just, if you've ever been in a battle, you pull out a gun, the other guy throws a shark at you. I'm backing the guy who throws a shark every single day.
We've often said this, in that someone that shows up to, like, prepared to go fighting with a weird weapon, you can assume they're a master with that weapon. So if that weird weapon is a shark, you're probably going to end up being eaten by a shark somehow.
And and the shark is pissy. Like, the shark is bull tick because he's outside the war. He doesn't like being there.
Does he need to be sprayed down every so often?
Sprayed a little bit.
Okay.
Sprayed a little bit. He spits on him. Spits on him to get him going.
Oh, God.
Right? He spits on him to get him just aggressive.
He's just riled up.
If there's a fight coming up and he knows Globetrotter's coming in now in a minute, he's doing a lot of spit straight over the shark. Shark is ready to go.
Okay. Shark, he's always ready to
and
fight.
He's just aggressive.
It's like Henry Cavill winding up his arms in Mission Impossible.
Why, Iona?
But it's spitting on a shark.
And then he pumps both arms.
Yeah.
But when he pumps the shark, it falls off.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Oh, lads.
Fuck's sake.
Just they're duct taping it to himself.
So there are two heroes and villains.
I think they're both terrible.
Yeah, I think. But Bill Finger was onto me and he said he thinks it's a good idea.
If anyone out there is like a talented artist and has nothing else to do, I would love to see a matchup between those two.
Shark Arm Boy and the Globetrotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I should have made his head a globe.
I mean, he should have been a basketball.
I know.
The Harlem Globetrotters. They were sitting right there.
They were sitting right there. I know.
Yeah. And he's just a very bouncy man.
Let's re-record this.
No, let's forget the whole thing.
It's a fish somehow.
I did a whole report.
I really enjoyed your report.
Oh, man.
You did good, Connor.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, you did good at 1 a.m.
Yeah, man. Apparently ninjas are what comes into my head. I needed a reason for why he was so angry.
That's a fascinating insight into you as a person.
I just combined all of Heroes and Villains that we've kind of covered already.
Yeah,
some of my favourites.
You put elements of them all into it.
Some of them that I like. And originally he was watching Joker in the cinema, and his friend Chad and his brother Chad really resonated with the characters and that.
Chad really liked it.
Yeah, he was like a dude, bro. He really loved it. And I thought that's funny, but it's funnier if Chad resonates with the shark.
And then ironically he's blown up, but
not by a shark, but blown up and kidnapped. In that order. That'd make me mad.
Oh, it'd make anyone mad.
It'd make anyone mad. Sean, do you want to take us out?
Yes.
This is the 100th episode.
This is what we came up with.
Yeah.
Thanks, Waffles, for suggesting this idea.
It's your fault.
This is on you. Be it on your head. No, I had a lot of fun with this. We might do it again sometime. But thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast, or there's a link to that in the description. You can also get in contact with us on Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook Heroes for Hire Podcast. Instagram Heroes for Hire Podcast. Or you can email us heroesforhire_at outlook.com. But most importantly, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please. So thank you everyone for tuning in for 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more, Sean. More heroes or zeros.
More zeros or heroes.
I'm hoping for a lot more comic book characters. Eventually we will run out of people to do, but up until now I think we're doing okay.
Well, we've just proved that we can make up amazing heroes.
So what we'll do is one week I'll just make one up.
And then we'll start a comic business.
And sure, why not? It's as easy as pie bite.
It's as easy as globetrotting.
The lads who did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're millionaires.
And sure, they're all about ninjas.
I like ninjas.
You fucking love ninjas.
Both loving ninjas.
Yeah, I think that's about it, Connor.
Yeah. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Jamieson.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.